set it to fifth. Again, 2 demis, 1 grand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. After that, we'll point to the side. We'll come back to first. And then what we are going to do is just a stretch to the right side for 4 counts. Come back up. A stretch to the left side for 4 counts. Come back up. And then we will elevate. And instead of balancing with our hands on our hips, we are going to balance with our hands in first position. It's just right in front of the belly button. But if you're not feeling good about that, we can keep it here too. So again, 2 demis, 1 grand. First, second, fifth. You come back to first, you stretch to the side, and then you rise, you bounce, starting with this, or we can do hands in first position, right in front of the belly button. All right? Ready? 6, 7, and 8. 2 demis. And up. This is the second one. Demi. Nice big triangle here. Up. And demi. Now go to grand, but you have to go through demi. Now point the right foot to the side. Set it down. Second position. Again. 1, 2, up, 3, 4. Again. 6, up, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do grand. Demi, grand, demi. And straight. Point the right foot. We'll bring it to fifth. Nice. Let's reset. 1, 2, 3. This could be a little tricky. Make sure your knees are pointing to the side. 6, and strain all the way up. And demi, grand. Straight. Now point to the side again. And set it to first. And we're going to stretch to the right side. This is nice. Really relax into here. Catch your breath if you need to. And then we'll elevate. Hands on hips or in first position. Depending on what you want. I'll start in hands on hips first, and then I'll move on to first. Hold the balance, hold the balance. Okay, I'll come down. Great, good job. Ready? 6, 7, 8. And knees to the side. Big triangle here. Don't let your knees fall forward. Push it to the side. Heels on the ground. Heels off the ground. Heels on the ground. Point the right foot. Really set it down. And demi. And up. Good. Abs engage. Up. 1 grand. 1, 2. Demi. And then strain. Point the right foot. Let's move on to fifth. And demi. Good. And up. Both knees super straight here. It's going to be a little bit tough and a little bit awkward, but you can do it. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Point. Settle back into first and get your nice stretches. To the left side. And up. Other side. Up. And we'll elevate. Again, hands on hips or hands in first position, right in front of the belly button. Like you're holding a really large beach ball. Balance. You can do it. Good job. We'll come back down. Amazing. So for some of us, that may have been our first time turning out our legs for that long. And as many of us will later realize, it's probably not extremely comfortable to be turned out. But unfortunately, everybody. This is kind of the way ballet is. Everything you will be doing is going to involve turnout, and even though it's a little bit tricky at first, over time we'll build the correct muscles to hold this position in place. I don't think it will ever be 100% comfortable, but it will definitely get easier. So don't worry too much if your butt is feeling funny or sore after just plies. It's very natural. So now we are going to move on to tendus. And a tendu means to stretch in French. And what it looks like is just the stretch of the leg. So we are going to start in first position, and we are going to do 2 tendus each way in a pattern called en croix, which means in a cross. So I'll show it very quickly. This is half toe, full toe. And when you're in full toe, leg is completely stretched, half toe down. Again, half toe, full toe, half toe, down to the side, half and full, and half and down. Again, half, full, half, and down to the back, half and full, and half and down, and half and full, and half and down to the side again, half, full, half, down, and half, full, half. Come back, and we will be doing 4 elevates, up and down, and up and down. This is 3, down. This is 4, down. Now 4 plie releves. Plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. And we'll stay with our arm in first position, right in front of the belly button. We'll balance and balance. If we're feeling very brave, we'll float the arms up to 5th position, which is a position where it's just right on top of your head, a little bit forward. So this is what it looks like from the side. And make sure that we're not doing this, where kind of a tummy comes out. We're perfectly straight up here. Stomach is engaged and in. First position, and up, floating to 5th. And you should notice, if you look up just a little bit, you should be able to see your fingers if you move them. Make sure they're not directly on top of your head, because it's going to throw your balance backwards. So that was tendu. And again, we are doing them in the en croix pattern, which is a very common pattern for ballet. It is front, side, back, and then side again. So 2 tendus each way, 2 tendu, 2 tendu to the back, 2 tendu to the side, 2 tendus, and then we will be doing 4 rises, and then after that it's 4 plie releves, and then we'll balance in first position. It's okay if you completely have forgotten the combination, I'll call it out. First position, ready. 1, 2, half and close. Half toe, full toe, half toe to the side. Half, stretch, half, come back. Half, tendu, half toe, come back. Half toe, full, half, and back again. Half, full, half to the side. And up, and back, half toe, stretch, half toe, 4, up, up. This is the 3rd one, 4th one. Plie, releve, plie, releve. This is the 3rd one. This is the last one. Hold, balance. Could be a little tricky. Float the arms up if you're feeling brave. Balance. And come down. Great. So now we are going to learn développer, which means to develop or to grow. So we are going to développer, which looks like this. I'm going to move a little bit away from the bar so I don't kick it. And you extend forward and point and close. So what's happening is I'm going through coupe, hitting passe, which technically means to pass. It's kind of like a pass-through position. And then you extend your foot or your leg, you point, and you close. And I'm going to do that in the en croix pattern. So front, side, back, side. Again, it's going to be coupe and hold and passe and hold. Attitude, which is this position, an open, funky kind of position. Attitude, hold, extend, and close, and one, and hold, and passe, and hold, and attitude, hold, extend, point, close. To the back. Now remember, we have to coupe back and hold, passe. As you can see, this passe, my whole foot is behind my working knee, and hold. Attitude, remember, knee up for attitude, hold, extend, point, close. Last time, to the side, since I just came from the back, I have to coupe the back of that working ankle, hold, passe, hold, attitude, hold, extend, point, close. And as you can see, this developpe combination is really, really about holding your poses and hitting every single position very clearly. I will break down to developpe again. I'll do it to the side. Coupe, that's one of the positions. Hold. And then if you passe, this is the second position. You'll hold. The attitude, you'll just open a tiny bit, making sure the knee's still pointing to the side. You're still turned out. You're not doing this. Knee still side. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Let's get started. Remember, developpes in the en-fall pattern. 6, 7, and 8. And coupe. Hold. Up to passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. And coupe on the leg. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Coupe in the back. Hold. Passe in the back of the knee. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Last time from the back. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close. Amazing. Good job, guys. Developpes are really, really hard. A lot of us will be tempted to lift our leg super duper high, and I know we all want to get there, but I'm purposely doing this very slowly and breaking down all the positions in the developpe so that we can get that first, and after we work on getting to positions crystal clear is when we'll work on raising our extension. For now, if your whole entire leg 45 degrees, perfect. Don't even worry about it. 45 is just fine for this combination. Just make sure that's even throughout. If you're going to do 45, 60, 45 the whole way, if you're going to do 90 degrees the whole entire time. All right? For me, it's a little bit tricky because I have this front bar, so I can't really extend too much without kicking it. So the front's going to be a little bit wonky for me. Ready? You can do it. Developpes are fun. And coupe on the leg. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Extend a tiny bit. Hold. Straighten both legs. Point. Close. On the leg. Hold. Passe. And hold. Attitude. Hold. Extend. Point. Close to the back. Coupe back. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. And close. From the back, so coupe back. Hold. Passe. Hold. Attitude. Hold. If your legs are shaking like mine, don't worry about it. Because you're done. Good job. All right, so now we are going to be moving on to the last combination we are going to do at the bar. I did this exercise countless and countless of times. It was when I was getting my ankles and legs ready for point by building up a lot of strength. Even though it could be a little bit tough, this is going to be a great, great, amazing exercise, I promise. So we are going to be doing 8 eleves. So this is what it's going to look like. Up and down and up and down and up and down, up and down. 8 times. And then we're going to do a plie, releve, 8 times again. So let's pretend like I just did 8. I'm going to lift my leg and just completely have all my weight on my right leg. After 8 plie releves, I'm going to do the same thing now, just on my right leg. Up and down, and up and down, all the way to 8 times. Let's pretend like I did that. Then plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, 8 times. And then the music will end, and then we will do the other side. 8 eleves, 8 plie releves, lifting the right leg the second time around, and using your left leg to do all that work for 8 eleves and 8 plie releves. All right, I will call it out. Let's get started. Feet parallel, please. 7, 8. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Straight legs the whole time for this. Up, down, up, down, up. Knees together. Up, down, plie, up, plie. This is 2. This is 3. 4. Plie. Up 5. Plie. 6. Plie. 7. 8. One leg. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Light touches. Up, down, up now. Plie, releve. Plie, stop. Releve. Plie, releve. Don't spring. Plie, use your muscles. Plie, releve. Plie, releve. Plie, releve. Plie, releve. Woo! That was hard, but I'm sure you made it through, and if you didn't, that's totally okay. We are going to build up on this. It's really, really crucial that we try our best for this exercise. It's very, very great for strengthening our ankles. All right, this is the end of the torture, I promise. Left side now, ready? Parallel, squeezing everything together. And 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, 7, 8. Plie. Oops. Almost want to do one leg. 2. Plie. Up. Plie. Up. Plie. Up. Plie. Up. Plie. Up. One leg now. Great. Been doing this 20 times. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Tummy in. Up. Down. Up. Now. Plie. Releve. 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 Last one. Releve. Woo! Amazing job, guys. We're all bar. Let's meet on the ground for just a tiny bit of groundwork, and then our lesson will be over. So now we are going to move in on a little bit of floor work. The first thing we are going to do is a few sit-ups. I know they're not the most exciting things in the world, but they're very, very important. Having a really strong core is crucial for almost everything in ballet. So like everything else we've done so far, we are going to do our sit-ups to music. So we are going to be doing 16 sit-ups, and then right foot on top, 8 to the side, and then switching left, and then we'll do 8. And that's going to be the end of it. It's going to take a minute, but we are going to have amazing results from this exercise. All right, let's get started. All right, let's start on the ground. 7, 8. Up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 8 more. Up, down, up, down, up, down. You can do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. Up, up, up. Almost there. Whew, this burns, but in the best way possible. You're done. Awesome job, guys. As you can tell, I haven't done these in a while, but I used to have a ballet teacher that made me do sit-ups every single class that I had with her. And yes, it wasn't really fun, but I realized that my pirouettes and everything I did in class, because of the ab work she made us do, I was always so well balanced because of that. And now I will forever incorporate ab work into my ballet routines because it just has amazing results. I'm sorry that I'm talking to you guys on the ground. It's just way more comfortable there. All right, everyone, so we're moving on to the last part of class today. We are just going to do a few free stretches. You can follow along with what I'm doing, but usually at the end of class, I just like to give people a little bit of time to do whatever stretches they want to do, because usually folks already have a routine that they have in mind. If you don't have a routine, you can go ahead and follow along with me. It's just going to be a little bit of chit-chat and stretching. So I'm going to take my mic off just so it's a little bit easier. I like starting on the ground. I don't really have a specific routine that I follow. It changes quite often, but I do like to start off all my stretches with just touching the ground and bending my knees. It feels great for the back of my legs. And then I'll bend one knee and really push my weight into the other hip. Straighten, and I'll bend, and then straighten. I'll try to fold myself like a pretzel just in half, bending my knees, but also straightening myself out again. Whew, this is great. You guys did an amazing job today in your first class. You should be proud of yourself. I'll go into downward dog, sticking my bum up and straight into the air. Again, this is for the back of my legs. Super, super tight. Walk it out a tiny bit. I'm really proud of you guys for starting your first lesson today. I know ballet is always very intimidating. I know that sometimes it's not easy being kind of new to something when maybe everyone else in class seems like they've been doing this forever. And for adults, usually, there is really no real introduction to ballet. You're kind of thrown into a beginner class, and hopefully you can follow along with everyone else. I know that's kind of what happened to me, at least, but my story is a little bit more complicated because at one point I did dance with kids, a lot of kids. I was 16 and just kind of, I think I was dancing with maybe 10 or 12-year-olds at that time. Very, very embarrassing, but you know, it made me stronger. This is a great, great stretch to do, the frog stretch. Really great for your burnout, something we worked on a lot today. As you can see, I'm really a big fan of folding myself in half. Have really, really tight legs, and I like making sure that I'm nice and stretched out at the end. And then I have a lot of lower back runs, so I tend to do some of my PT exercises too right after class. But, you know, given the whole situation with COVID, haven't taken class in a really, really long time. But this, moving my knees side to side feels amazing. It releases my lower back. Whew. Just some light stretching at the end is always really, really good for you. Even if you're not doing anything intense like splits, completely okay. I used to be really intense at stretching. I had a timer on my phone, so I would hold every single position I did for a certain amount of seconds. I'd make sure I do my splits and I'd hold each side for a minute or so. And, you know, I was really but I'm realizing that it just took way too much time. Now that I'm older, that's not a thing I could do anymore. It's so much work. Now I'm going to my straddle, or I'm going to be going to my straddle. Just making sure that I feel comfortable in it before I lay down. Easing yourself into stretching is really, really important. And stretching isn't really about, I would say, what most people think it might be about, which is kind of a pulling of your muscles apart. I would say it's more about getting your muscles to relax so that you are able to kind of have it more malleable. When I started ballet, I was really, really inflexible, but took a little bit of work. I stretched every single day for around 10 to 15 minutes. Just did a really casual routine of some lunges and a lot of touching the ground, a lot of staying into splits. Really, really tight. And even if you don't have your splits and you're kind of up here, just make sure you hold yourself up, support yourself, and eventually you'll lower down into it. Splits are always kind of a funny thing for a lot of people. The front splits, so for example, the left and the right side splits, or the left and right front splits, even though it seems very hard and you don't have it, it's actually something that a lot of us can get, mainly because it's a more forgiving stretch. So some of it comes from the hips, some of it comes from the hamstrings, and if you don't have flexibility or a lot of room for stretch in one area, you can compensate using the other area. But the middle splits, straddle, which is this is gonna be tough. I've been doing ballet for a long time, and there is kind of no way for me to get my legs perfectly straight, just because my body just wasn't built that way. And if I didn't get my legs to be perfectly straight, I'd probably injure myself, and it wouldn't look very good. So don't be too hard on yourself if you can't get this stretch. Still feels good to just do what you can with what you have. Don't spend a lot of time, being upset at why you don't have the perfect ballet body, because I definitely did that. But I love ballet so much. I love teaching it. It's one of my favorite things, really. That was kind of a big thing for me as a young adult. Teaching it and making it accessible to everybody. Love that. Alright. And we're done for today. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned a few things. I know it can be overwhelming at first when you first begin something, but don't worry, if you keep at it, it gets easier just every single day. Alright, I'll see you in the next class. Bye!
Everything in life is a negotiation.